Used to love me, now you won't.
Alright you guys, it is time for a what sold video. I am going to share with you guys what sold for me on eBay and Poshmark last week, which would have been July 19th through July 25th, 2020. I had quite a few sales on eBay last week, so we're going to zoom through it. And if there is any confusion, the number that you see on the screen was my asking price from eBay. For some reason, that is what they show when I open it up like this. So I have a list here of what the actual cost or the actual price that it sold for in front of me. So I will show you the item. I will tell you what it sold for me, and I'll let you know if there's any bolos. And we're going to actually start off with a bolo. The first thing I'm going to show you guys is this. It is a vintage, and I didn't even realize it said Mary Kay right here in the middle on the handle until I got it home and started photographing it. But it's just a clear acrylic like makeup or desk organizer with the little slots in it. This is a bolo. These sell for me almost all the time, and not just the clear acrylic ones, but in like the retro yellow and brown, or ones that look like woven wicker or whatever. Desk organizers, and especially retro ones, they always sell for me. This one literally sold same day for $25 offer. So I sold this for $25. All my items on eBay are free shipping, so the shipping was included in that cost for the buyer. This item was a Salvation Army find. I remember it, and I remember it was $12, and I remember it because the lady, I was going past the lady in the aisle, and she goes, "Oh yeah, there's this really cool Zodiac blanket if you're interested in something like that." And I am. So I looked at it and I'm like, okay, this is definitely not a Zodiac blanket, but I'm still interested. So I ended up buying this. I sold this for $45 to a buyer who sent me a message saying he collected Aztec items. And then he never paid for it. So I relisted it, and I sold this for full asking price of $59.94. And if you saw my video with the vacuum bags, this went in a vacuum bag to ship, so it cost me less to ship it. Christmas in July, you guys. This is one of 4 that I bought, and this is one of 3 that I sold last week alone. Oddly enough, I've had these for quite a while, and for some reason, this past week, 3 of them sold. So this would be the first one, and it sold for $20.96. This mid-century lamp is another bolo. So these are things to look out for. These lamps that have like the wood and then maybe like a colored plastic shade or whatever. If you know what mid-century modern looks like, these are a definite pickup. So this sold for $74.94, and it even had a burn mark around the shade. So it made it look kind of cool when it was lit up, but it was definitely damaged. And it still sold for $80. So that was a pretty good sale. This is an apothecary jar. When I did the comps for this to look it up, that actually is a set of 3. This is one of the 3. And it sold for $27.96, free shipping. You guys saw me pick this up for $3 at a vendor mall. It's just a brown like stoneware or ceramic pottery. I'm not really sure what it's made out of, but it sold for $23.90. My stuff is on sale now, and it may or may not have been on sale when I sold it. So this whole pricing thing looks weird, but I'm telling you what I sold it for. What it says on the screen is almost irrelevant. Anyway, this latch hook I bought at an estate sale recently. I think I want to say I paid $5 for it. Anything left from this estate sale is profit, and I still have 5 totes stuffed full of things that I haven't even listed yet. So this was one of the first items that I picked up. I paid $5 for it approximately, and I sold it for $45, free shipping. And I think this is super cool. This is really my aesthetic. I love this thing. It's like brown is my favorite color, and these orange and yellows, the retro, the 70s colors. These again are from that same estate sale. These are salt and pepper. They were like a lusterware mid-century salt and pepper. They sold for $40, free shipping. And I've told you guys before to look out for salt and pepper shakers. They're always hit and miss. They're not all worth money, but Definitely the mid-century ones like that are worth looking up. This item sold really quickly too. This, I cannot remember where I picked it up or what I paid for it, but I know it was recently, and this sold for $17.50 free shipping. This also came from that same estate sale. I have so much from that estate sale. This was just like a ink for a fountain pen. So this sold for $22.37. The set of VHS tapes, they were all new in the packaging. I want to say I paid a quarter or 50 cents a piece for them, and they shipped media mail, so they were really cheap to ship, and they sold for an offer of $17. This blue lampshade, it was like a clip-on lampshade, actually went to Hawaii for $19. These headphones I had for a really long time. The pricing was everywhere. I sold them once for $70. They never paid. This guy just like sent me offer after offer after offer of $20 for these headphones. And honestly, sometimes you guys, persistence pays off, because I was just like, you know what? I'm going to make a profit off of them, and I'm going to let another item go, which I really need to do right now because I just have so much coming in. So $20 free shipping. These went out to the buyer. This glass paperweight cat sold for $14.45. I told you guys before, I normally don't pick up Pyrex. In this case, I did pick up some Pyrex. They were $1 a piece at the American Rescue Worker, and the reason I picked them up is the color. So they're like a milk glass with this sort of aqua or teal, which is a super popular color right now. And that's why I picked them up. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have picked them up at all. And I even sold them for a little bit too cheap at $23.77. But I still made a profit off of those. And I've told you guys before, if you buy Pyrex, maybe I shouldn't say don't. I don't suggest that you buy the dishes, the bowls that are common. Find stuff like this that maybe has an odd color, or like the juice decanters and things like that. Those things sell for high money. Here we go, Christmas in July again. Here's another set of ornaments that sold for $17.82. Oh, right. So this next item is a chicken. A baby chicken, in fact, a chick. So it was just like the ceramic jar, container, dish, whatever you want to call it. It sold for full asking price of $27.92, or at least the on sale asking price. So I ran a sale last week, and it actually ended up being pretty fruitful. I ended up making quite a few sales from it. Here's another bolo, and you guys are going to be a little surprised about this one. People are usually surprised when I say this. These old clocks, buy them even if they're broken, even if they don't work, even if they're muffed up, because look at this thing. Look at it. It's totally scuffed. It's yellowing on the glass. There was markings on the actual numbers. And when I plugged it, it's dirty as heck. And when I plugged it in, it went, it made that sound. So I put all of that in my description, and I made sure to let the buyer know exactly that it is yellowing. All those things that I just told you. And it still sold for me for $17 in about 3 hours. So I probably could have held out. Oh, no, sorry, $18. So I probably could have held out even longer and made a little bit more money off of it. But I was basically given this at a yard sale with another one that did work. So $18, yeah. It's deco. It's art deco. It's mid-century, maybe even earlier. And people do this for a hobby. They take them apart and they put them back together. Or they take parts out of this one and put it in another one and make a functioning one. Or they just put it up as decor like this. Some people were really into what we will call patina, and just like the crusty look of a thing. So definitely a bolo. These mid-century or these old, this one's a General Electric clocks. Definitely pick them up. If they're cheap, pick them up. They'll sell. This bike seat sold for $27.96. It was a little rusty on the one side, but I thought it was cool, so I picked it up for like $1. Had this rescue ladder for a long time. It's like a ladder that hangs out your window and you can escape if there's a fire or something like that. Anyway, 47 or 49.94. I got full asking price on this one. This is another bolo. I've told you guys before about the table legs and things like that, or the drawer pulls off of antique furniture. But here's another example. These are trim accoutrement, if you will. They're just like little wooden decor pieces that come off of old antique furniture. And I bought these. I paid, want to say $1 for 5 or 10 of them. There was like about 50 of them total, and I sold them almost instantly, like almost as soon as I listed them, for $35, an offer of $35 free shipping. When offers come in, guys, right now, if I'm making a profit off of an item, I'm taking it, because like I said, I have so much coming in. I am just trying to let stuff move. So if the offer is reasonable and I'm making a profit, it's sold. $35 free shipping on that one. So this next one is pretty cool. I don't know if you guys remember from my last What Sold video, there was this black marble globe that ended up being glass and not marble, and the buyer was like upset but gave me good feedback, and then he said, keep an eye out for globes. If you find any, let me know. So I did just that. I found this little bank at a yard sale for 50 cents, and I messaged him and I said, hey, I found this little bank if you want it. He said, how much? I told him $12 free shipping, and I still made money off of it, and I made this buyer really happy and let him know that I really am a caring seller, and hopefully he'll pass that on. And now I have a guy to buy my globes every time I find a globe. So that one sold for $12 free shipping to that buyer. This little Roper's Rodeo shirt sold for $9.57. Part of me is considering stopping selling clothes altogether on eBay, so I'm letting that stuff go really, really cheap. And here is the third installment of Christmas in July. This is the third set of these ornaments that sold last week, and they were all different buyers. How odd. $20.96 this went for. This really cool desktop calendar and pen holder with a marble base sold for $20 free shipping, and it was like a rotary thing. Really, really neat, really pretty. These two guys I got at the auction a long time ago for, again, like almost nothing, an nth of a cent, and they sold for $27.97 for the pair. And it's just like this cypress wood little carved man and woman. This little ashtray with the foul bird, I don't know if it's a goose or a duck or whatever, it was like pewter and glass, sold for $11.17. And then last but not least, on eBay last week, I sold this vintage 70s Phillies ashtray for $25 free shipping, and ashtrays are definitely a bolo, and as well as sports memorabilia. So if you can get a combination, you're golden. But the ashtrays, definitely, Tabacchiana is a thing, and there's people that just collect really unique or cool ashtrays. And again, my best advice to give is just, if you think it's really cool, somebody else is probably going to think it's really cool. The biggest thing is that you get it really, really cheap so that you can sell it to them for more. That's the whole process, right? Okay, so that's everything that sold for me last week on eBay from the 19th to the 25th of July. And let's go ahead and jump into Poshmark now. Poshmark last week was pretty mediocre, but I did make a couple of sales. The first sale being this Maria Pia vintage black 9 knee-high heel boots. I sold them for $10. The buyer paid the shipping, so $7.05 I made on those. I had these for a super long time. Was glad to see them go. These BOLOS leather pants sold for $20. The buyer paid the shipping, so I made $16 on that pair of pants, which is amazing. This Hagar clothing shirt had like little tiny strongmen all over it, sold for $20. Free shipping, so I made $8.89. $8 for this elastic vintage like hook style belt. I made $5.05 after Poshmark fees. this Mickey Mouse, it was like a pajama shirt or a beach cover-up type of a t-shirt, oversized, sold for $16, free shipping, and I made $5.69 on that. This used to be mine. It did have a couple of little damages as far as like some of the stitching was coming off, but super comfortable and really silky nightgown, sold for $7. The buyer paid the shipping, so I made $4.05 on that. And then last but not least, last week I sold this sort of quilted puffy Technicolor jacket for $15. The buyer paid the shipping, so I made $12 on that. All right, so that's everything that sold for me on eBay and Poshmark last week, the week of July 19th to July 25th, 2020. If you like the content, you guys, hit that like button for me, but even more important, subscribe so you can see my videos every week. And in the meantime, you guys, happy hunting!